Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Don over at REI Automation. We just finished up on building out a new live answer app slash web form. We've built this out with a call script basically built into it. It'll look familiar to some of you, as well as it allows to take inbound live calls. It allows you to give a web form to an answering service, and it has some conditional logic behind it so that they can actually take in the information and set appointments if you so choose to allow them to do that. And it's going to actually go and look for a matching property lead by phone number. And if it finds it, it'll update that lead and let you know that they've called in by setting a task for you to review it, as well as updating any additional notes that came in from that web form into the lead that already exists. If the lead doesn't exist, it'll create a brand new lead. So you can see here we've got our apps up at the top in our workspace. We've got the new Live Answer app, and if we click into it, this is what it's going to look like. If there was a phone call that just came in, we've got it set up to where CallRail will create an item as soon as the call comes in. So if you have somebody in-house answering calls, they have an item they can click with the phone number. If CallRail has a caller ID name, it'll be the name of the person here. And then they start working through the different questions of the script to get the different information from the seller and working through to get that information. As you start filling in the information, you're obviously putting in all the seller's information, who's getting the current information or working the lead. As you fill in an address here, this is actually going to go out and pull back Zillow data, as well as eAppraisal, Total View, and some others to bring back some information as far as pricing and square footage and all that. Let me pull up an address. Okay, here in a minute it's going to go out, grab the street view, bring back street view, aerial view. This is all happening while your person is on the phone with the seller getting the information. They can then kind of conversate with the person. They know roughly what it's telling us for square footage, bed, bath, Zestimate. If there's any tax assessed values, you can see that as well. And then it's bringing back the e-appraisals and Zillow and Total View values automatically as well. So you continue to go through the script asking the different questions here. And what it would look like is these items would be highlighted blue so that your person knows exactly what they should be asking as they go down the script. They continue to fill in the different information on the script. And as we come down here, we start determining whether or not it makes sense to set appointment based off of the motivation and some of the answers that they gave you. You're filling it in. You've now got values and their asking price of what we are seeing. You can click on these links. It'll directly take you to the property. And then if it's a qualified lead at this point, depending on what your sales process is, you could set an appointment for whoever's on your team right here. This is based off our team members app. And then a date and time for that appointment. We use You Can Book Me or Calendly currently. And we have basically a link directly in Podio where the person can open that up, look at what's available, and set the appointment with the seller. Now, worst case scenario, obviously, if it doesn't sound like it's something that meets our need or where we're buying, we can tell them it's not something that meets that. However, any additional notes you can see would go here. And then at that point, we're going to put in exactly what happened. So if it was an appointment set, obviously we filled in who's going, what date and time was. You would click that button and then you would submit the lead. And at that point, it's going to go see if there's a match already in Podio. If there's a seller lead already in there, it's going to update it, put it under appointment set, date and time, and all that stuff will automatically transfer all this data into the lead that's there. If it does not exist, it'll create one. Same thing with any of these different items here. So if it's a remove from list, it's going to go find the match. It'll update that lead and put it to remove from list. Property to sell, listed with agent, or property sold, it's going to do the same thing. Go find a match, update it. Obviously, right now, if it's a listed with agent or property to sell or appointment set, at that point, it's really a lead. Even though it's listed with an agent, they have a house, it's for sale. You know, it could always fall out of that contract with that agent, and you could possibly pick it up at that point. So we look at that as a lead. Same thing if they have a property that they're ready to sell and or appointment to set. The other items, they're simply a prospect. They're not looking to sell or they're asking to be removed. They don't have a house for sale at this point. So Your person would click submit lead. At that point, it's going to go find the match or create a new item. That's how it works for an internal lead person. If you have a call center, we have a web form for that call center. So you can see this one is set up for call porter. It's automatically put in that call porter is the one taking the lead. They would fill out the different information. You can fill in the information at this point with that call center. And when they're done, at the very bottom, they're basically asking the same kind of questions. They can set an appointment as well if you're letting them set an appointment, put in any additional notes, and then they're selecting the different statuses, and then they submit the lead, and it does the exact same thing. It goes and looks for a match. If no match found, it creates one, and it sets a task to let us know that a new web form was submitted at that point. You can go and review and see if it's something that you want to keep the appointment or if you need to go back and do anything to it. But that's the new live answer form with the conditional logic behind it to update anything that's already there. If you got questions, let me know. But we're looking forward to upgrading the current clients we have and now making this a part of the setup that we provide with our beast mode CRM at REI Automation. Got questions, email us at reiautomationsquad@gmail.com or on the website reiautomationsquad.com. Thanks, guys.